Okay, so how many of you drove here today, or how many of you own a car at home? Well, if you do, you're probably you probably are enjoying the benefits of the Halliburton innovations throughout their 100 years of service. My name is Roman Cantu, and this is my partner Aston. We are both senior students majoring in business majoring in business. We are going to talk about what is Halliburton, what they're doing, and what we can expect from this company in the future. And Aston is going to talk about the fracking and the merger. What is Halliburton? Halliburton was founded in 1919 by L.P. Halliburton. It's a Texas-based company, and it's extremely focused in innovation and exploration. The Halliburton employs over 80,000 people in more than 140 nationalities. OPEC. We're going to talk about OPEC. OPEC is an organization which is comprised of over 12 nations. Those 12 nations produce over 40% of the global oil production, and they have the most low break-even cost of around $5 per barrel. The U.S. Oil production has increased from 5 million in 2008 to 9 million in 2014. This has grown the OPEC organization to lower their price and increase their production to end up with the U.S. Producers. So yeah, now I'm going to hand it in to Aston.
Hello, so Halliburton really, it's been around for a long time, but they got big recently, really since 2008, and that's because of the big boom in fracking. Now, they've had a patent on fracking since 1947. They've started fracking then in Kansas, but it really hasn't become cost-effective until recently for them to actually explore fracking. And that's what Roman was just talking about. OPEC is scared, because you can see on the left of this, that's what OPEC does. They have pre-existing wells that drill straight down and they suck it up. But Halliburton has developed horizontal fracking, which has allowed us to go down deep into the shale and use water and other sand to break apart the rock and extract more natural gas than has previously been capable of doing. And they started doing this, really it became big in 2005. That's when they started exploration in the Burnett Shale up in North Texas. But as of right now, they're fracking in, they're fracking in Australia, they're fracking in England, they're fracking in Poland, and I think about 10 states here in the United States. And that's a large part of what they're doing. They're also really big in offshore drilling in the Gulf of Mexico, where they have more offshore wells than anywhere else in the world. So now I'm kind of going to start talking about where they see themselves going. And a lot of people hear fracking and they worry about some of the potential environmental aspects that could have arise in the future. Nothing's really been shown yet, but there's a lot of fear for it. So what Halliburton's done is they're working to bring about a cleaner way of fracking. And the way they're doing this is they're working with the El Paso Corporation, which controls a lot of the major natural gas lines here in the United States. And they've started their first clean suit fracking plant, and it is in northern Louisiana. Now what it does is it uses these three technologies. Clean stem, which is this here, and that's a lot of the fears with fracking is that the fracking fluid that is pumped down into the ground to break the rock could leach into the water. Now what this is entirely made up of food products. So we're talking citrus, pulp, all the enzymes, they get it from food and other things that you would find in the kitchen. So it's really the cleanest thing that they've come to date. The FDA has ruled on it, and there are still some things, because it has dish soap and things that they see as harmful, but it's the cleanest thing they have out there at the moment. Another thing that they're using is the clean stream. So when the pipeline is closed in, they have a lot of bacteria that grows in there, and so what they have to do is they have to pump in different things to kill that bacteria. So what they've done is they're taking the water out and into these trucks here, which is part of the clean wave, and they shine UV lights onto it, which kills the bacteria, so they don't need to use antibacterials in the waters. And that's really a cool thing that they're doing. And then Clean Wave is these portable trucks that they also have the UV, but they cut down on, they allow us to reuse the water, so we're not using as much groundwater, which is another really cool innovation that they're doing. Now the merger, this is a really big deal for them, and they're still trying to work out if it's going to happen or not, but so Halliburton is the second largest in their industry, and the third largest is Baker Hughes. So this past July, they decided that they were going to buy Baker Hughes for $34 billion. Still has to pass through Congress, and just make sure that it's not too much of a union or antitrust breakup. But if it does happen, they will end up being larger than Schulenburg, which is the leading group at the moment. However, Baker Hughes and Halliburton do primarily North American exploration, where Schulenburg is a lot of foreign, Middle Eastern exploration. Okay, well, just to kind of go over everything that we touched, my partner here, Ron, has talked to you guys about where Halliburton came from, and a little bit about some of the other problems that we could foresee with OPEC trying to manipulate the oil and gas industry at the moment. I talked to you guys about their possible merger, some of the clean technologies that they're coming up with, and I'd like to thank you all for coming today, and at this point open it up for questions.